Hello, beautiful people. My name is Sammy So Natural, and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I believe that if you're watching this, Jesus is truly calling you to step into the fullness of who He has called you to be and go after every dream and aspiration He has impressed upon your heart. In today's video, we'll be diving deep into how God built my life at 24. I got married at 23, I'm debt-free, I hold multiple degrees, and I even started my own credit business at 19. Now, I do not say all this to brag, because God is not a discriminator of persons. But truly, if He can do it for me, He can do it for you. So from my heart to yours, this is how I did it and how you can too. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is my foundation. What was I even standing on to be able to ascertain these things? Well, that's a great question, sister, because I'm going to tell you. But before we get into that, I really do want to ground our hearts and mind with the living word. So, I'm reading out of the New Living Translation, I believe. Let me see. I'm sorry. New International Version, which I love. It's very easy to read, very easy to comprehend, so 10 out of 10 recommend. But we're going to be reading out of Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Now, I absolutely love this verse. Why? Because it is a promise. I really think that we do not ruminate enough on the promises of God, the things that He has declared that He will fulfill for us. And so I always like to go back to this verse, especially when I'm going through challenges, because it shows me that God works every single thing for your good, no matter what. My foundation was that I always knew who God was. I was raised with God, I went to church, but I did not have the proper perception of God. And because of that, I went around making decisions without good consultation from the Lord. And that is something, honey, I can testify that I don't want to do again. And so the first thing that really was a catalyst into me understanding the character and the nature of God was I got my heart broken. I had my first boyfriend when I was a senior in college, or I'm sorry, a senior in high school. And so that was a really big deal for me, and I was very excited and things like that. But unfortunately, things just didn't work out. Not unfortunately, because I have an amazing husband, okay? Things didn't work out, and it happened for a reason. But when it happened, I was devastated. I got diagnosed with depression. I had to get on antidepressants. All types of things happened because I was out of alignment with God. I never once consulted Him if I should get into this relationship. I never once consulted Him during it, when there was arguments, things like that. And through that, I knew that I never wanted to do that again. I truly made the man that was in my life my heart. I made Him the center of my heart. Wherever He went, I would go. My heart was guided by another person. And when we have that type of dynamic in life, it's truly a recipe for disaster, to say the least. Your heart cannot be rooted in people, or else you will literally be like a feather in the wind. But when you know God and when He is at the center of your heart, you are able to stand firm in what you believe and what you know He has called you to be. And that is what I learned after going through heartbreak. I learned that no man, no job, nothing on this earthly world should be at the center of your heart. Only God. And when He's at the center of your heart, everything else will fall into place. Now, the next topic I'll be talking about is marriage. This is fairly new as I just got married August of 2024 last year. But when I tell you I did not think this was on my bingo card, I didn't, okay? But God is amazing, and He blessed me with a gift that not only I had been praying for and dreamt of having, but that truly shows me how much He loves me every single day. Now, to my single ladies and single men out there who may be watching this video, I truly understand how it feels to be single and want someone to spend the rest of your life with, want someone to cuddle with, want someone to just be there with you through life. I get it and I empathize with you. I think what's important to know is that we can't be so focused on what we want that we're not equipping ourselves with the skills and just qualities that we need in order to possess what we are desiring. And so when I was desiring to be a wife, I was sharpening skills that I knew would be needed for that. How did I know they would be needed? Great question. I would meet with different wives and ask them questions about what they were doing and the responsibilities. I sought out people who were in positions that I wanted to be in and learn from them and glean from them. Because a lot of mistakes that people make, you don't have to make. You can just learn from their mistakes. That was my first thing. And then my second thing is that for women specifically, men do not like to be chased. My mother has been married for 28 years, and she always told me this when I started dating, is that the more you chase a man, the more they run away. And that's literally because God designed the man to be the predator and the woman to be the prey. So, in your waiting season, while you're waiting on a man, sharpen your skills. Work on things that you always wanted to work on. Go after your dream job, start that business. Focus on you and focus on aligning yourself with the purpose that God has for you. And as you're doing that, in the blink of an eye, your husband, your wife will literally be next to you. That is what I did, and that is what I know to be tried and true. As long as you're focusing on the purpose that God has for you, why wouldn't your mate be a part of that purpose? Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is debt. Debt. Listen, I know that everyone has different circumstances and life happens, okay? I'm with you, I understand it, and I get it. Debt is something that I'm very passionate about because I feel like in society it is a way that they try to entrap people from being able to be financially free and fulfill their destiny. And that is really why I started my credit business. And talking about debt, I made it a point to be debt free because I wanted to be able to go after the things that God put on my heart without strings attached. I went to college and thankfully I was able to have that paid for, due to my academic resume from high school and my parents. In college, they literally pray after young, impressionable students. They know you're not literate on, credit and finances and things like that. And so they try to get you with the credit card. That is one thing that I would recommend to any young person. Do not get a credit card if you don't need it. And you don't need it. I'm going to tell you, you don't need it. I'm 24 and I just got a credit card because I want to fly, without paying $1,000. So that is the only reason. And I got, a credit card that can help you build your credit, things like that. So when we're getting credit cards, and we'll make another video about that, okay? This is not about that. But when you get a credit card, just be smart. And I didn't get one until 24 in order to maintain my debt-free lifestyle. Another thing I did was I don't try to keep up with the Joneses, okay? If she has a Fendi bag or the newest Lululemon set, that's cool for her, but I'm not going to go out my way to go get that in order to feel like I'm keeping up with people. The only person I need to be keeping up with is God. And let me tell you, He is somebody who always fills me with joy, ideas, creativity. Like, it's never boring talking to Jesus. And so I really don't even care about keeping up with people because God literally fills me with so much joy and just being who I am and who He has called me to be authentically. I feel like with social media, TikTok, all those things, it's so easy to be a follower and replicate what you see that is already successful. But God is so creative. He's not limited. He's the epitome of creators. So the Basquiat's, the Leonardo da Vinci's, he's better than them. And that truly is just like, wow. But He created you. So why wouldn't you be your authentic self? You not living in your truth and your reality and who God called you to be is literally robbing the world of how amazing you are. And that is truly devastating. So don't do that. But my biggest encouragement to you to avoid that is do not get a credit card. Do not try to keep up with the Joneses. And don't spend money you don't have. If your debit card only has $100 on it, don't spend over $100. if the bag costs $200 and you could not buy it twice, that's another thing. If you can't buy something twice, do not get it. That is the principle that I live by. If I can't buy an item that's $200 twice, then I can't afford it. If I can't buy that bag twice, I can't afford it. And that has really helped me manage money well. Another tip I have is if you cannot buy it twice, do not get it because you can't afford it, babe. So that Fendi bag, that Louis bag, that Lululemon set, if you can't buy it twice, you cannot afford it. If you are not able to pay a bill because you're trying to get a Lululemon set, no, that is irresponsible and we are good stewards of our money. So we're not going to do that. And I really implemented tactics like that, and that truly has set me apart and set me above and beyond where I thought I would be. Because a lot of people that you see with these designer this, designer that, they're using Klarna or a credit card and they have debt. Okay? That is not how you want to live. You want to be living off money you actually have, no debt. So, that's how God built my life at 24. All I can say is that everything I've done and everything I've accomplished is simply because I surrendered to Jesus and allowed myself to be a vessel for Him to use in any way He saw fit. All God needs is a simple yes from you, and He will transform your life beyond your wildest dreams. If you want to continue to be enlightened, encouraged, and inspired, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. I love you guys and know that you are the answer to somebody's prayer and a gift to this world. I hope you have a great week and be blessed.